welcome to the Potterblog site, August 8th, 2013. We're going to try to keep this very short and quick. Details are in the write-up for this. We believe the federal government has just released a federal solicitation that directly targets pulling face masks and respirators out of research and development phase and trying to make them available because the H7N9 virus is defeating the respirators used by caregivers in a hospital setting. There's likely many reasons for this, but the important thing is the quote you see in front of you in red is taken directly from the solicitation, and even the font coloring is directly from the solicitation. And I'm going to read it to you very quickly. Note to potential offerers: due to the urgency of ongoing preparedness activities for avian influenza A H7N9 virus, available funding for awards under this solicitation may be limited. In addition, submissions that directly address H7N9 preparedness may be evaluated more favorably than those directed towards other influenza subtypes. So our takeaways from reading through the solicitation and knowing what's going on currently with bird flu in China, our number one takeaway is that the airborne H7N9 bird flu is infecting caregivers despite their use of masks. 2, the feds expect patient loads to overwhelm the available number of life support systems. 3, a shortage of vaccine is expected because of a large number of potential victims. 4, the shortage of vaccine will be tied to the large dose amounts required to get immunity. And that's even with these nasty adjuvants that they're throwing in, stuff they've never done before in this country that has been known to cause a narcolepsy when it's been done in Europe. 5, not enough diagnostic tools are available to make wise decisions on who to treat and how. Interestingly enough, today the Army put out a sole source solicitation contract for a DNA analyzer tied directly to H7N9. 6, if an H7N9 pandemic occurs, hospitals will be the breeding ground for untreatable mutations. We could go into that in some detail, but it's a function of the things we've just mentioned. 7, and this is one of the key critical ones, the federal government is in a much greater tizzy over H7N9 than most people know. If this was out in the news, what all the federal government's doing to H7N9 related preparedness, people would be freaking out, and there'd be a ton of stuff you could not buy in the stores right now that's still available. And we've covered some of that in our previous videos, and we'll probably make another video where we go into some more detail what you can do. But for the moment, here's our risk mitigation position. 1, we believe a near-term widespread high-fatality pandemic is possible, but not likely. Let me say that again. We think it's not likely. Plenty of reasons for that, but we're not going to go into them at the moment. 2, cost-effective risk mitigation preparations will be wise for items likely to go out of stock. And here we list these 3 items. And 1 is HibaCleanse surgical scrub. This is a gallon size. Kills germs and viruses continuously for 6 hours after washing with it. It's like an invisible glove, and nobody knows you're using it or wearing it. 2, a P100 mask. These are better than N95 masks, usually have a better face seal, offer more protection, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll stop all the H7N9. You're likely to wear this in your home if you've got somebody sick, you've got them isolated in a room, and you don't want to get sick yourself. 3, as part of that, HEPA air filter reduces airborne viral load in sick/quarantine rooms. And so the only one of these that you really probably get the best deal we know of for certain on Amazon is this HibaCleanse. You're just not going to find it cheaper anywhere else. It's hard to get other places. When you go through Amazon, try to find a place that's close to you, because it is somewhat heat sensitive, so you want it shipped to you as quickly as possible from the nearest distributor, preferably in cooler weather. The P100 masks you can find currently still Probably Home Depot has them if you look for them. Best to have one with a face seal. This Honeywell tower, we use an earlier version of this. I think anybody who watches this website, because of the information we had early on about Fukushima, we use this type of HEPA filter. That's why we listed on here, but that doesn't mean you can't get these cheaper somewhere else. If you buy through these links, we get I think 4% of the cost or something like that. But the reason we share this information is we want you to share information back. Primarily what we're looking for is if you become aware of pigeon abatement efforts or pigeon culls occurring in your city, then please let us know, as we believe this is a harbinger, an early warning that H7N9 is in your city or has affected but hasn't struck the news yet. And so in those cases, then having just that little bit of notice will allow you to potentially go out and buy other items you may need under a greater certainty that there is an actual pandemic going on. So that's one of the primary things to look for. That's it. We'll have more detail in other videos later. Good night.